Oh, hey. Hi, guys. Sorry about that. I was thinking deep thoughts.
Like Jack Andy Deep Thoughts?
Yeah. That was Nate's nickname in high school. Did you know that?
Jack Andy?
Yeah.
I did, actually. I knew that.
Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's episode of Low Expectations. Low Expectations. Low Expectations, Tom. Episode 36?
Sounds about right. Yep, it says it right down there on the ticker.
Oh, look at that.
Down the bottom.
And in case you didn't know, Tom, tonight, the beer. Oh, that's Tom. I'm B. And the beer's going to be great, but we...
Probably not. It's been a long week, folks.
After 36 times, you would think we would start inching up the scale a tad bit.
No, I feel like we peaked at about 25. It's all downhill.
It was a good run. Well, you know what? I'm excited. You know why I'm excited?
I don't.
Another round of pumpkins.
Pumpkin beers again.
Listen, if you're not down with the pumpkin, you just sit back. You let us drink them. You let us talk about them because buckle up, kids. The next couple weeks is just going to be like, pumpkin, la 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 la. Pumpkin, aga.
And don't forget about October 20th.
I forgot about it.
Wednesday night, October 20th. It's not going to be a normal show.
What?
We are going to have guests down here in the studio.
What?
Who also love pumpkin beers.
What?
And we're going to drink 30 or so pumpkin beers, maybe 40 if we can get to it. And we are just going to rate every single one of them.
Gord almighty.
From 1 to 40.
30 pumpkin beers.
At least. I've got at least that many on the list.
Oh,
I've been collecting.
I better ice my liver up
And
the night before.
I just saw flashing. We decided to go old school opener tonight. This is from Lenny's Lounge in Kansas City, Missouri. The phone number is PL3-9673. So if you need to get a hold of Lenny's Lounge, that's how you do it. We're going old school.
I feel like back in the old days, the Jerky Boys might have crank called Lenny's Lounge.
They have mixed drinks, sandwiches, and stereo music.
Wow.
2 speakers. 2.
Chris, what is up, buddy?
What's happening, Chris? He's drinking his gluten-frees.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did
How do
see
you feel
his
about
review?
that? How do you feel about that?
Dude, he said you wouldn't even know it's gluten-free.
Take that aside. Take him out of the equation.
I would absolutely try them.
Do you have a desire to try gluten-free beer?
I would try them, so I would have to say that there's a small desire there.
Okay. I have almost no desire to try.
Just like I
gluten-free
had
beer.
a small interest in trying non-alcoholic beers. We tried them. We decided they're not for us.
No. Do they have one called Steve Glutenberg? Because that would be great.
I drink that. Or would that have to be the opposite? Or would that have to be like the gluteniest gluten beer ever? Like, how can we possibly add extra gluten to our beer? We're going to call it Steve Glutenberg.
I think they do a pastry stall called Gluten Tootin' Friday.
That'd be fun. Let's open the first beer.
Because I got the jokes are really bad.
They're
tonight.
bad. Yeah. We have 4 beers tonight.
That's what that means.
Yep. And the first one is going to be Sam Adams Jacko Pumpkin Ale. B mentioned a few episodes ago that he didn't know if Sam Adams made one. I knew they did. I avoided it.
Listen, I have a question for you.
Yes, it's going to be bad.
Do you want to open it first and me be quiet? So I'll be quiet. You open it. You get it poured, and then I have questions and concerns.
All right, here we go with a bottle. Lenny's Lounge is doing the work tonight. Sounded lackluster.
That was pathetic. Oh my god!
All right, we're gonna go to. Oh, and tonight, B and I both are drinking out of hand-blown glasses by, that's B's. They're hand-blown, and these guys are fumed, so they'll color change. These are made by Just Glass Designs on Instagram, Just Glass. The dude is awesome. I buy many, many sets of these. Whenever someone I know who appreciates glass is getting married, I buy them a set of these. In different colors.
Look at you.
Yeah, a custom-made set of blown glass, which I think is a pretty cool gift.
You are one considerate hombre.
Colors look nice. Pour looks fine. Now we're going to find out the taste. So, Just Glass is awesome. For not an expensive fee, you can get custom-made glasses. You can ask for different colors. He's a really super dude.
I feel like he should have a jingle. Just Glass.
Tom loves them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so, I mean, I guess it looks okay. It's hard to tell. It's hard to pick up color in my hand-fluted glass. Diddly, diddly, diddly. That's how I think of... That's the image that pops into my head when I think of
Hand-fluted. Yeah. I smell a lot of mediocre coming out of this glass.
Well, okay, can I start, please? First of all, the largest craft... Were you laughing at me there? Or
no,
were you
just in general.
All right, just in general. Mm-hmm. You're amused. All right. So I'm really not going to like what you're tasting, am I?
You're not going to hate it.
Okay. The largest craft brewery in America. Mm-hmm. I call BS on that. They're not a craft brewery.
They're not.
I'm done with that.
There's a
loophole. There's a loophole.
That's it. There was a rule about how many barrels you could make, and then. Somehow the brewery with a ton of money had that rule changed. Odd.
It smells soda-like.
You know, that's a good interpretation. It's almost cream soda-y.
Yeah, there's no nothing.
Cheers.
There's no nothing. And dude, Sam Adams makes a lot of money. They could not come up with a better name than Jacko.
They couldn't throw an extra cup of nutmeg in here?
Yeah, Frank would be disappointed. He would not be holding this glass up and say, I get a hint of nutmeg.
Who's Frank? Oh.
There he is.
See?
Frankenstein's
he would not get a little nutmeg out of this.
Oh, he gets a little nutmeg, like a very little nutmeg.
Now, do you think he's saying... Is he referring to the beverage in his glass? Can you throw that up one more time, Nate?
I can.
Let's look at Frank closely and examine him for a second. Is he holding up the glass and saying, referring to the liquid, I get a little nutmeg? Or is he looking across the room to his friend, say maybe the mummy, and going, oh yeah, I get a little nutmeg every once in a while?
No, he's not witty like that.
He's not?
No.
He's got a brain?
He does, but it's been dead for a long time and brought back to life. Few too many shocks to the neck, I think.
All right, so he's not getting any nutmeg, is he?
No, I don't think he's getting any nutmeg.
All right. Thanks, Nate.
We don't even know. We don't even know what Dr. Frankenstein did with that.
This is just... It's like some kind of really bad
He could have
pumpkin
sewn
soda.
a third arm down there. We don't know. The whole thought is terrible. I'd never once considered that until you had to bring it up.
Third arm.
Yeah, I'm going to think about that every time I see Frankenstein now.
It's called the trifecta.
What's Frankenstein packing? Oh, did Dr. Frankenstein find the corpse with oh, it's Ron Jeremy's corpse. Ooh, or he's not going to use that thing. We'll just put a broomstick down there instead. Like what? That's messed up. Forever now I'm going to think that.
Damn, cheers.
Never once considered that.
He gets a little nutmeg. This is an awful... It's like a weak pumpkin soda I'm drinking.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm sorry, Sam Adams. I know I tagged you in the Instagram post today on my account. Said we were going to be drinking your beer tonight. I was really hoping it would be good. It's not.
Yeah. I could drink one, but not more.
You could drink one of these? For
I
what
just did.
purpose? No, you didn't. You didn't choose to drink one of these. You're doing it for art.
Yeah, for art. Did it for you, B.
For duty and humanity.
Duty and humanity.
Duty. He said duty.
I would do it. As far as humanity goes, I will drink one just so that there's one less of these in the world.
Well, I am drinking one so that you don't have to. How about that?
I really want to like it.
Do you?
I do. I appreciate Sam Adams for what they do. One of my all-time favorite beers ever was made for a couple years by Sam Adams on a very limited basis. In the wintertime, like their Christmas sampler, they would put this beer in called a cherry chocolate bock. So imagine a beautiful chocolatey chocolate bock.
Imagining.
with great body with a ton of maraschino cherry in
So
it.
just like a chocolate covered cherry.
Exactly. It was beautiful, wonderful beer. Could drink it nonstop. And it was very, very hard to find for like 2 years, and then it just hasn't come back yet.
It wasn't
But
making
a
money,
beautiful
but
beer.
was it only in that sampler pack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a clone that I brew that I made it identical, and it's really nice. I usually brew it like end of January, beginning of February. It's nice. It's good beer.
I mean, I don't hate this. I'm savagely disappointed.
I want more. I want more spice. There just needs to be more to it.
It's like I almost wish there was
More body, more spice.
You know what? If this was non-alcoholic, I'd appreciate it more. I'm mad that there's alcohol in here.
If it was a soda, I'd be like, okay, it's okay. Good try at a pumpkin soda. That's novel. Nobody makes that, but they do. A Treat does. I've never had it though.
And it's like a flat pumpkin soda.
Yeah.
There's no carbonation whatsoever.
Sorry, bud. Yeah.
Have I said enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You give me that face like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah. It's just. I just want more.
I've got thoughts and feelings.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Sometimes they come out.
Oh, see, Chris has had the cherry chocolate bock. It is, if Banky were on too, the cherry chocolate bock is just absolutely incredible.
And
You would love it.
yes, Frank's brain did come from Abby Normal.
Who's Abby Normal?
You never saw Young Frankenstein?
That's been a long time. I gotta watch that again.
That is literally
I gotta watch that
one
again.
of my all-time favorites.
I have to watch it again. It's been a very, very long time. Yeah, very long time.
Igor?
Jeez, Igor.
Igor breaks into the lab and he was tasked. Should I tell this story?
Yeah, go ahead.
He breaks into the lab and he was tasked by Victor von Frankenstein to steal a brain. And he has the brain and lightning strikes in the background and he gets startled and he drops it. So he has to move on to the next brain and there were names under the brains and the name under the glass jar of that brain was Abnormal. And he was like, Abby Normal.
I remember now. As you started to tell the story, I remembered it. Yep.
Was that Marty Feldman? Was that Igor's name? The actor?
Oh, jeez, I have no idea. I
I'm
don't
pretty
even know people's names. How would I know?
Come on, you
actors'
remember
names?
him? Big googly bugly eyes.
Oh, I know the guy. Yeah, I have no idea.
Nate,
what
any
his
idea?
Name is.
I don't know.
No.
I think it was Marty Feldman.
Yeah.
He in that role cracked me the hell up. I laughed.
He was in Cannonball Run too, right?
Marty Feldman?
Wasn't he with Dom DeLuise in there? He was like the doctor in the ambulance.
Yes, he was. He was the fake doctor in the ambulance.
Yes.
He wasn't even a real doctor.
Right.
Yeah. He was like a crackhead.
He was like the Sam Adams pumpkin beer of doctors.
Yeah. There you go.
That brought it all out. Closure.
That's good.
All right.
That's good.
Thanks.
Yeah. The beers tonight are not in the order that we're going to like them. I just knew the Sam Adams would probably be the bottom, so that was first. And then I just threw them in an order.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens to the next one. I'm excited for the next couple. Some interesting breweries, some interesting ideas in pumpkin beer.
Okay.
You can do it, buddy. You can do it. Are you ready for the next one right away?
Sure, why not?
Just wipe that slate clean. Give yourself a rinse with that some of that delicious Deer Park water. Thank you, Deer Park, for your continued sponsorship. We appreciate it. They're back, but on a very low-key basis.
I'm throwing a party.
Show them the giant Deer Park bottle they sent us. Thanks, Deer Park. You really went all out. We appreciate you. It's great. So, this one is a local brewery, sorta. It's a Pennsylvania brewery, the next one.
I've never had a beer from this brewery in my life.
Neither have I. It was in the singles section at Wegmans. And
Wait, you're married. You're married.
I do like to cruise the singles section at Wegmans.
Were you wearing your ring?
I picked up quite a few ladies that night. Yep. Cost me a fortune. Had to leave the store and come back for more.
Ooh.
Yep. So this is from Penn Brewery in Pittsburgh.
Got a third arm down there.
Jamie Frankenstein. Man, that is just gonna mess with me the whole time. What is Frank packing? Oh, man. But we all know that Wolfman's got nards. So Frank's probably packing too.
Ow.
All right, so the Pumpkin Roll Ale from Pennsylvania Brewing Company, Penn Brewery. They were started in like 1986. Originally just traditional beers, have started to expand into some other things.
Did you say 1986?
86. They were one of the first craft breweries in the beginning of that.
The whole vibe of like their logo and everything it had me fooled. I thought they were older.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the information said 1986 when I researched the brewery.
Okie doke.
Yeah, 1986. So we're gonna use Lenny's Lounge opener from way before 1986, and let's see what we get from the Pumpkin Roll Ale. I'm curious if we're gonna get any like the cream cheese frosting
I'm gonna
or
say
anything
no.
like that.
I'm gonna say no. That was like...
Not much happened there. So, to the pour can we go, folks. Oh, I gotta do it the other way. All right, hands not in the way. Let's see what we get for colors. Oh, it's actually got a nice color.
It does look pumpkin-y.
Looks good.
It looks pumpkin-y.
Right. Let's check the...
Ooh, it looks carbonated.
Lacing is actually pretty nice. Some lightly larger, larger bubbles than you want in a good lace, but this isn't bad. Carbonation looks good. All right.
Oh,
Let's go for the sniff test. Oh, you did sniff test already?
I shoved my schnoz in there already.
This smells more like a lager than it does a pumpkin beer.
Are you getting a citrus note in the nose? Oh, you went in for the taste already. Oh, I barely got that down.
Oh,
That is awful.
oh my God. My eyes are watering.
It tastes like Pledge.
Wow. It's really that bad.
Where's the yuck?
Oh, yeah, we gotta use it. Yuck buck, coming out. Oof. I gotta give it one more chance.
Nope. Tastes like Pledge. And I'm not talking of the Allegiance.
There is neither pumpkin nor roll in that. Oh. Woof. Woof.
That is monumentally bad.
Oh my goodness, folks. Do not buy that one. Under any circumstances. Stay out of the...
Not even under duress.
Ooh, I made a bad choice in the singles aisle that night, folks. Holy moly.
Not the first time.
Wow. Dude. That is like epically bad.
Even the rinse water tastes bad.
Oh, I'm not even gonna...
I should have dumped that.
No way.
Why am I so stupid?
Oh, wow. Just poured it all over. Trying to rinse my glass so fast I poured water all over the mouse.
You got excited, didn't you?
I didn't get excited. At this at the end? Oh my goodness. Wow, that was... I'm sorry, that was... Man, I don't like to say a beer is absolutely trash, but that is absolutely trash. Is that like 5 years old or something? Does it have a bad date on it? Check the date on that thing. I'll check it because you can't read. It's going to be too small for you. Holy moly.
Oh, I didn't see the date. Excuse me. Look, I never do that on camera either.
Oof.
That one
boy.
hurt me.
It's actually from 1986.
This fragrant ale evokes the rich, deep flavors of spiced pumpkin cake rolled around a sweet, creamy filling.
Lies.
Not one bit. No.
Maybe an old slipper wrapped around lemon Pledge.
Sheesh.
Okay, so while we're on the topic of unpleasant experiences, Tom,
Oh, yeah, I know what you wanted to talk
How
about.
is that for a segue, Nate? Come on. Yeah. Let's harken back to youth for a second, shall we? Imagine a young Thomas building up through September, early October.
Absolutely.
You are a fan of Halloween.
I love Halloween.
I feel like you've
Love
been
it.
a lifelong fan of Halloween because it's not something that just develops. You have to nurture that.
All
and
right.
cherish.
So, number one, fat kids and free candy. You can't beat that. That's great.
If that's not a song, it should be.
Kids and free candy.
Yeah.
Can't beat that. Sounds good. That number one was like the draw. But then, wearing the costume and doing. I was in a pretty nice neighborhood where you could.
I've got questions. I've got questions.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So, let me have you walk me through this.
Okay.
First question. Do we need another beer to get through this?
I'm afraid we went to the second one to make it better than the first, and now I would drink a case of that Sam Adams.
I know at least one of these is good.
Oh, the next one is a winner.
Oh, then both of them are.
winner chicken dinner.
Because I've had the other one.
Oh, okay. Well, then we're going right to it. Whew, there's got to be a good one. I'm glad we decided to do 4 tonight. We're not drinking any of them.
Well, the first two don't count.
So this, in past years, has been one of my favorites. Probably a top 5. It is by Two Roads Brewing Company. It is called Roadsmary's Baby. It is an ale brewed with pumpkin and spices, and then this is aged in rum barrels with vanilla. So imagine aging a good pumpkin ale in like Captain Morgan barrels.
Do they do that in all the Roadsmary Babies? Is that like the recipe, or is this a special edition?
This is the regular Roadsmary's Baby.
Okay.
But then there are 2 other that's like Roadsmary's Other Baby. That's a different recipe, but I've never had either of those. I don't know if you can get them anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah. But this is, like it says on the can, scary good pumpkin ale.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
I think I've had this, but it doesn't resonate with me
gonna
like
give
it
it
resonates
a
with
slight
you.
roll. Make sure, see if we have any good stuff down in there. All right, here we go. Sounded okay.
That sounds like a beer.
We're gonna go with a pour in the pour cam. I'm sorry we're rushing through these tonight, but man, the color looks nice. Slightly darker than the other. Gotta remember not to pour more than my half. Seems pretty good. All right, give that a try. I am curious to see what you think about this one because I really do enjoy. The smell is unique. It's definitely, there is rum in that smell.
Little bit of lacing, little bit of head. If I agitate it back and forth, it's sticking to the sides.
It's more of a barrel age than anything. It's not heavy barrel though. Almost beginner barrel. Very light barrel. But it is there. The flavors are nice. I enjoy that one.
Very pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
Very pleasant.
Not too heavy on the pumpkin spice.
Not too heavy on anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It kind of straddles the line.
Yep. All right. So while we enjoy this Roadsmary's Baby, pumpkin ale aged in rum barrels with vanilla, and finally we have a good proper beer. It is time for you to continue asking some questions.
So young Tom.
Yep.
Young Tom has a set neighborhood that you do your neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Let's pick an age. I feel like 10 might be the optimal Halloween age. 10 years old. You're old enough where you're kind of a little bit independent on your own, yet still young enough where you're not worried about being cool. You're still embracing everything that Halloween has to offer.
My daughter is 13, and she wasn't going trick-or-treating because she was too old. And then she was going to go, but she doesn't want to go with parents around her. She only wants to go with some friends, but she doesn't know which friends to go with. And now they're not going, but then they're going to go. And they're all this crazy back and forth. So that age, like 13-ish, they're
too old.
They want to go, but they feel like they're too old.
Well, they're too worried about what other people think.
Yeah.
At 10, I feel like you're just all in, but you're old enough to be on your own, but you're still all in. At least when we were 10.
When we were 10.
Not
so much anymore.
Well, let's go back. We're hearkening, remember? We're hearkening.
I'm pretty sure I was about 10 when I went around by myself with Kyle Butterwick. Yeah. Yep.
Kyle Butterwick.
Yeah, me and Kyle Butterwick went around. He had hurt his foot, so he was on crutches, so he was an injured soldier that year. Yeah.
Oh, so you actually remember your 10th Halloween, your 10-year-old Halloween.
Whatever year that was, but I do remember it.
That's cool. Okay, so.
I really do like Halloween.
You had your neighborhood.
Yeah.
You kind of just answered my next question, which is, did you have a pack, or how did you go around? And it sounds like you were partners. You partnered up.
Well, I would go with my 2 younger sisters.
Oh, the family. Yeah. They would tag along.
Yeah, me and my 2 younger sisters, and like my mom would take us all around. So we would go all around in the neighborhood, around our block. We had one block that we went around. And that was it. When we were done, That's whatever we got, we got. Okay. There was the one house that gave away the big candy bars. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Try and get there early, or try and get there
the Wickards. Mr. Wickard gave away the big candy bars.
Or was it just when you got there? You got there.
They were always there. He always had enough. Like, you didn't have to worry.
Okay. 10-year-old Tom's Halloween costume?
Couldn't tell you. They blur together.
Did you?
I can tell you favorite costumes.
Were you a costume maker or a costume buyer?
Majority of my life was all maker. Love making.
You were the maker.
Love making. Yeah. My mom taught me how to make. My mom helped me make. Taught me cool things. In kindergarten, at Red Hill Elementary, I won the costume contest. My mom helped me with it. It was I found this green scary monster mask, like a bald monster, just scary mask. I was like, I gotta have this mask, and can we just like make a scary costume around it? So we found pants that were too tight for me, like old pants, and cut shreds into them and covered me in baby powder, so I looked all dusty and scary. And it was a super wonderful Halloween costume. I loved it.
Excellent.
Because we made it. It was great.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm. I still make my Halloween
costume. Did you have a bad Halloween costume experience, Tom?
You know, for me it was Rite Aid. Rite Aid in the Pennsburg Square Shopping Center. If you would go to Rite Aid, there was a table set up, like a folding table, right before the registers, of those trash, like, donut box costumes. Yeah. That, like, the plastic jumpsuit with the plastic mask, with the rubber band,
with the horrible rubber band,
where the holes never lined up. Either the eyes were here or down here, and you couldn't see, you couldn't breathe,
and the condensation,
yeah,
the condensation, and that's on that mask. What was it?
I don't remember what it was. I'm pretty sure it was just like Frankenstein, from my memory, but I cannot be certain of it. And it was so hot and
really
so uncomfortable.
Just grabbed my horrible Halloween.
And you end up wearing it on top of your head, and then your head gets all sweaty.
And just that band pinched the back of your skull so bad.
Ugh, the worst costumes ever.
Or even worse, one side snaps.
Oh, you're done. You gotta hold it the whole time. Candy in one hand, mask in the other. Yeah, I've been there.
I was a really bad knockoff Creature from the Black Lagoon. That version. That donut box version.
And I'm sure it probably cost my mom more money than she wanted to spend. We could have made a much better costume, but that's what I wanted.
Yep.
And that's what I'm fighting right now with the kids. They want these unbelievable costumes. No, they pick characters. Like, oh, I want to be this obscure character that it's so obscure, no one makes a costume for it, and it's going to be impossible for you to find the pieces to.
Dad, I want to be Pliny the Younger for Halloween.
That would be great. No. Brody wants to be a certain costume from Zelda Breath of the Wild. A particular, like, one of the rare costumes, not like the everyday one he runs around in. Not the one they sell 50,000 of. And he wants a certain shield.
Is Pikachu in that?
No. And he wants a certain sword. Like, it's got... it's rough. I'm having a hard time.
He better start whittling.
They don't do any part of it. I'm like, guys, you're gonna have to build it. You're gonna have to do it. What? No. It's driving me crazy. Haley wants to be something I don't even remember. Okay, did you see the movie Black Widow?
Yeah.
She wants to be Black Widow's sister.
She doesn't want to be Black Widow.
No. Doesn't want to be Black Widow in the black costume or the snow costume. Wants to be the sister.
I don't have kids to do Halloween
anymore. How do you... Like, I went through... On Amazon last night, I spent an hour going through
Black
vests.
Widow's sister.
No, I had a picture of the character on one side of the screen and all the Amazon vests on the other. All the tactical vests, all the fishing vests, all the bulletproof vests, all the weighted vests. Every vest I could think to search to try and find something that was similar to that one. Found like 3 candidates, put them aside. Now we need a white jumpsuit. You cannot find a white jumpsuit that's not like a low-cut, sexy spandex jumpsuit.
Nate's wearing a white jumpsuit right now.
I know, but his is low-cut, white, and sexy. I don't want that. That's what I'm not going. I don't want the 13-year-old in that.
All right, fair enough.
Oh, it's killing me, man. It's either going to cost me $400 or it's just going to be impossible and be terrible. And people are going to be like, oh, what are you? Nice, here's some candy. No one's going to know who the character is anyway. I'm somebody Romanoff. I'm whatever the character's name is. I can't remember it.
Beef?
I think it might start with a B.
See, we lucked out this year, so we took our kids to this Spirit of Halloween because I figured it'd be like a little event. You know, they have all the scary decorations and all that. So they found costumes. We thought, all right, it's a little expensive, but okay, we'll do it. Came back, did a little bit of research. Actually, Spirit of Halloween was cheaper than online.
I found the same exact thing. Can't get any of the stuff I need from Spirit Halloween, though.
Are they out of French Maid?
Yeah. I'm going as a French maid.
In the singles aisle.
I used to have some killer costumes back in the day, like college years and stuff.
Hang tight. I'm going to get there. You went off on this whole kid costume rant.
Sorry, it consumed my night last. It's been consuming my thoughts. I'm so busy, and I'm trying to give them the awesome experience that my mom gave me. You know, like this killer costume that I was super proud of and loved, and they're making it so hard on me. All I wanted was, could I be a monster? Yes, I'm happy I'm a monster. They want to be like this super specific, impossible thing. I can't do it. I just can't do it.
Can I be the third Kree in Guardians of the Galaxy from episode 24?
Right.
The one with the red shoes?
Yeah. It's killing me.
All right, so listen. When you were a kid, shopping bag, pillowcase.
Never once a pillowcase. Never in my life.
I was a hardcore pillowcase guy.
We didn't have a shopping bag either. There was always, at school, you would get these heavy-duty plastic bags with really strong handles.
Wait a second. With the plastic handles, and did it clip together?
They didn't clip together. No, this was just a really strong plastic bag, and it was like the police gave it to you, and it had like tips to be safe. It was bright colored. We always took those because they worked good. They weren't too big. They were the right size.
But don't forget the cool year where McDonald's had their pumpkin and ghost and I forget what the third. Oh, Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
those plastic tails.
I never carried around the plastic pumpkin thing. Never. Yeah. That's a bad move. That's a rookie move.
Yeah. The neighborhood we live in now, my kids hit so many houses. They have to take the pillowcase. And like last year, they had to dump the pillowcase and continue on. They had so much. I'm sorry, 2 years ago.
Next question.
Yes, sir.
When you went home at the end of the night, you said your siblings, 2 sisters?
2 sisters.
Was there...
My older sister was always like, she did her own thing. She was a few years older than us, so if she went trick-or-treating, she was with her friends. She didn't do... The 3 of us were closer in age. So the 2 sisters, one was off doing her own thing.
Was there trades going on when you got home?
Some. Slight trades.
I am the youngest of 6.
Yeah.
So the only time... There was just a very brief window. My closest sibling is my brother, who is 5 years older than me.
Ooh.
So there's just a very brief window when I was like 6 and he was like 11, 7, and 12, and then that was it. But there was a little bit of trade jockeying. Now, fun fact, I don't like candy. I'm not a candy man. Very, like, you could put you could cover this bar in Halloween candy, and I could do this show every week for a year, and I probably wouldn't eat a piece of it.
There's a few candies I really like.
Yep.
Most of it I won't touch. I don't like any of it. But there's a few.
Occasionally, I will eat me a Reese's cup.
Yep. Once in a while. The ones that are like shaped like pumpkins or like the holiday Reese's ones, you know what I'm talking about? More peanut butter, less chocolate. I like those.
I'm good with the old school.
Heath bar, all day long.
No interest in that.
Love a Heath
You can
bar.
have all my Heath bars.
Love them. Anything fruity like Starburst, Sweet Tarts, all that stuff. No, thank you.
I will eat a Mounds bar occasionally.
Okay, yeah, this would be good. Mary Jane's.
No.
I loved Mary Jane's. You know what everyone hated that I loved?
I'm sensing a theme here, but go ahead.
Yeah. What everyone hated, but I loved those little wrapped. They were almost round, circular, wrapped in orange or black paper, and it was like a softer Mary Jane, like a peanut butter molasses type candy in there. Mm-mm. Nobody liked those because they were like a generic no-name candy. I'd be like, give them up. I'll take them all.
This is not bad.
It's nice. It's a really enjoyable beer.
You would have really liked the brewery that we're going to have next this weekend. They had a rum barrel aged pumpkin that was very rum present.
It's called Pumpkin Pirate.
Yes.
It is still available in bottles, 500 mils.
Oh.
I tried to order some, but I can only make an order for the next 3 days out right now, and I cannot go pick it up in 3 days. So I could not order it from them.
I will try and get over there this weekend and see if I can get you a bottle. I'm not going to make any promises, but I will try. You should have let me know. I would have grabbed you one.
I didn't know they had it until I found it today.
Oh, okay.
Or yesterday I found it when I was doing research to make sure I had the slides for the show.
And then finally, I guess, if we had to measure your cavalcade of costumes throughout the years, do you have some that stand out as your favorites? In my head right now, I have 2 that stand out in my head as my favorite costumes of all time.
I would have to say it was when I was older.
Yep.
When I really got into making my own costumes and getting creative.
Yep.
But yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Would you care to share them with us?
Yeah. One of my most favorites, hands down, was the year that I convinced my girlfriend, I think it was my girlfriend at the time.
Oh, are you venturing into the realm of couples costumes right now?
Oh,
Tom?
this was a couple's costume. This was a couple's costume. She was my girlfriend at the time. She will correct me if I'm wrong. Pretty sure we were in the apartment then. Maybe that's the phone telling me I'm wrong right now. Remember when those inflatable costumes first came out?
It may or may not be one of my favorite costumes.
Okay. So I convinced her to just get the giant ass big round pumpkin costume.
Yes.
A big ass jack-o'-lantern.
Yes.
I'm like, you're gonna be the big ass jack-o'-lantern.
Yes.
She's like, no, I don't want to be the big round jack-o'-lantern. I don't want to. It's like, please, you're just gonna do this.
Do it for me.
Because I have the best costume to go with it. So I bought a white football jersey.
Yes.
And painted the back number 69. And my name was Pumpkin Eater. And then I took green pipe cleaners as like curlies and stuck them all over me and painted my face all orange right here. And I was Peter Pumpkin Eater.
I remember.
Well played, sir.
That was years ago. That was like apartment years, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'm correct there. That was a long time ago.
Sure.
That's funny that you mentioned that. I almost wish I could have morphed that version of you into Union Jack's down on the Manitawnee's Halloween party a few years ago, where our friend Jack was wearing that pumpkin costume.
No.
The exact thing.
That's funny. We still have it. I save all of them.
Yeah, I took a picture of him from behind and I posted on Facebook and I said, does my ass look big in this? He was mad at me for a little while.
I would have to say my second favorite. One year I dressed as a farmer. Got a pair of overalls, flannel shirt, straw hat, just dressed as a farmer. But the whole point of behind it was I had found this giant stuffed animal. So I just dressed straight up as a farmer, and I sewed the stuffed sheep to the front of the overalls. So the whole night I just walked around with a big giant stuffed sheep stuck to the front of me.
Sensing a theme here.
That made it rough, like trying to get places.
Yeah, because sometimes, as the night wears on, your depth perception kind
You just have
deteriorates.
a giant stuffed sheep stuck to the front of you.
along a similar thing. My all-time favorite costume was I was a giant like felt banana one year. And I had to step into the costume, and the front of the banana just went shooting out like that, and the back came up over my head like that, and my head just popped out like
In a
that.
felt suit. Oh, it had to be so hot.
Yeah, I was only wearing a pair of shorts.
Oh,
Nothing else.
Still had to be hot though.
It was hot as hell. In fact, it was so hot that at some point during the night, I don't know when, but at some point during the night, it ended up in the freezer of the party we were at. I don't know how.
What?
And I was wandering around in just a pair of boxers. And I think I felt at some point that I was really hot, and by stuffing it into the freezer and putting it back on,
would be cooler.
it would be better.
Okay.
At least
You
I think that's what I was thinking.
You know those big giant foam fingers you could get, like we're number one?
Sure.
Well, they also have them in the shocker configuration. So one year I got 2 of those, and I sewed this giant flowing cape out of lightning bolts.
Were you Dr. Shocker?
I was just the shocker. And I had spiked my hair up with big white glasses and like a big giant white goggle
So
glasses.
I'm thinking that the stories we're relating kind of like are rolling through our 20s. Is that what
they were the most fun. And honestly, they're the ones I can remember.
Those are the mostest funnest Halloweens that I can remember
greatest.
because all bets were off. And then one year I just wore the giant inflatable sumo costume that had the built-in fan. Mm-hmm. And that was a lot of fun too because I just walked around the party bouncing
into people and it didn't hurt anybody. Yeah, that's fun.
All right.
Time for the third beer.
And then I think you have some trivia down it for us?
I have some Halloween trivia for us. The 2 of us.
All right. Sounds
We're
like
going to play some Halloween trivia. Nobody else is playing at home, though. The last beer of our 4 collection, hopefully, is going to be a good one.
That was good.
It is Punch in the Pumpkin, Imperial Pumpkin Ale with coffee, an Imperial Pumpkin Imperial Ale. Imperial Pumpkin Ale. Something, it had 2 double words in it when I read the description. Threw me off, but I kept them there. So, pumpkin and coffee. Here we go. Nicest sound of the night so far.
From our good friends at Well Crafted.
Yes, from the wonderful people at Well Crafted, who I cannot wait to go visit again. By the way, they're the ones with the pumpkin ale. They have the beer that I love, the Americano, that like light, almost latte beer.
The Blonde Americano.
Blonde Americano. They have that in a pumpkin version too.
I had it
They
this
have
weekend.
a lot. I know. I know you did. Told you I wanted some.
Yeah, I thought you
Here
wanted
we
this.
go. It's okay. I'm still going to get some. I'm just going to make an order. All right. The color looks nice. I can smell it from here. The smell of the coffee is just overwhelmingly wonderful. Low on lacing, but carbonation seems okay. I'm so excited for this one.
Yeah, when I rock it back and forth, I get some nice lacing.
Oh, it smells like I'm about to wake up.
Yeah.
That's a lot of coffee beans.
It's coffee, baby. It's coffee.
Oh, it smells great. I get the spices too, though. Oh, that's a winner. Oh yeah, that's nice.
It
Oh,
does.
that's wonderful.
It's got a significant coffee presence, yet the body of this beer carries it. And the spices are there, and they're not fighting the coffee presence. Everybody's got their place.
And the coffee is smooth. There's no bitterness to it.
Yep.
There's no thinness to the body. That is really nice. I never realized. Did you know the history of well crafted? When they say well crafted, they're not saying like it's crafted in a good manner. Well crafted is their experimentation with well water.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. I didn't realize that's what.
You taught me that the night we were there.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, I forgot that fact. I learned it again last night and loved it again.
So, hey, I thought this is the perfect time to bust out one of these little
I would
treats.
love to try one of Bee's muffins.
Yeah.
I'm going to go muffin munching.
While you, I think it's perfect with this coffee.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm going to reach under the bar here and pull out a paper towel.
So these guys are pumpkin chocolate chip with a little bit of maple glaze.
Maple glaze. How do you make maple glaze? You just put maple syrup on, or do you like reduce? Do you what?
It's parts butter, confectioner sugar, pure maple syrup, and I screwed up. Normally I use milk, which gives it that nice, dark, thick, when you buy a
like
pastry glaze.
That drizzle.
I followed the recipe like an idiot and used water, which is why you can't see it, but you'll taste it.
Okay.
But when you use
Very
milk,
cool.
it gives it that thick glaze look.
Yeah, it goes on top like
Yep.
an icing.
Yep.
All right, cool. Well, let's start with the first general Halloween question of 6. These things. It's a nice muffin.
Thanks, buddy.
It's good. Nate said he might eat one later, but he's not huge on the pumpkin.
Yeah, I'm going to pretend it came. I'm going to act like a vending machine.
There's a Slim Jim in the center of one of those, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, I'm in.
How many bites does it take to get to the center of...
I don't know. Ask Peter Pumpkin Eater.
Get to the Slim Jim center. All right. So this first one was just a fun fact that kind of interested me. I would like to know, when is Halloween thought to have originated in the world? You've got 1400 AD. So 1400 AD. 1500 BC. 500 AD. Or 4000 BC. Huge jumps in time here. Humongous.
I feel like it's a Christian thing. I feel like somehow it's related to a Christian thing. So I'm leaning towards the AD. I'm just going gut here, Nate. I'm going 500 AD.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. Following that logic, it wouldn't be 1400. That's way too late, because it's definitely older than that and probably based off of older rituals. But I'm gonna guess 500.
We're in agreement here.
Scrolls.
We're limiting our options. Yeah.
All right. How about this? 4000 BC.
What?
Halloween has
Totally
been
wrong.
around that long. Now, Halloween then was obviously very different, but yeah, that is ridiculous. That's been around that long. I had no idea that it was such an old tradition. Pretty cool.
Takes you back to what, like Sumerians?
Yeah.
Egypt, at
I mean,
least?
that is way back there. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep.
That's a
Pretty
lot
neat.
That's a lot of candy corn.
Yeah.
That's when it was all made, according to Lewis Black.
Yeah, it's all made at one time. They've been selling the same thing over and over again.
6,000 years ago.
Oh, that's terrible. All right. The next question is sort of along those same lines, but when was Halloween first celebrated here in the United States? And I'm going to give you a like decades to kind of help you out. So it could have been the 1910s, around that time. 1760s. 1840s. Or 1890s. Now, I am going to tell you, if you know anything about your decades, it coincides with an important decade in the United States when there was quite a bit of change. Not trying to confuse you, but I thought it might help if you know.
Nate, you're up first this time, buddy.
Well, I guess it all depends on how literal these, it says in the United States. In the 1760s, it wasn't the United States yet. So you could cross that one off. The rest, man, I'm really not sure. I mean, if it's been around since 4000 BC, you figured somebody brought it over at some point. So that would lead me to go like early, like 1840s. But then your hint, like great change.
There was a decade of change. I don't want it to throw you off. So if you're thinking too big of change, then don't go too big.
All right. Damn. Now you're throwing me off.
Yeah, I really didn't want to throw you off. I was hoping someone knew.
Too late.
Sorry.
Right.
I was hoping someone, and when you hear it, you might be like, oh, okay. I understand what he's getting at. I hope you do. I'm not trying to throw anybody off. I want you to win.
Nate, honestly, I was down with your line of thinking, and I know we're really limiting our chances of success, but I was thinking 1840s.
That's what I was thinking too, because you figured like, oh, there's like these weird pictures that pop up at time of like Victorian Halloween costumes that are really freaking creepy. So I'll take a stab at it. I'll say 1840s.
All right, we're both going 1840s, Tom.
And you guys nailed it with 1840s.
Hey.
Now, that decade was when there was a huge flood of Irish population, of Irish immigrants that were fleeing the potato famine coming into the U.S. So the Irish immigrants actually brought that with them. They brought Halloween to the U.S. then.
Some like 1890s was like, there's some stuff. Gilded Age crap. 1910s was the progressive era. See, now you got me.
Yeah, sorry. You went too deep right away. Yeah, the 1840s was the Irish potato famine.
Great.
So
now he's going to dress like Calvin
left.
Coolidge for Halloween, Tom.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is.
Fair
Who
enough.
the F is Calvin Coolidge? All right.
It's one of Eminem's aliases. The real Slim Calvin.
So,
Well, compared to Hoover,
True that.
I didn't know what B was going to ask me about today during the show. I didn't know what questions he was going to ask me. But obviously, this is something that is key to all of us growing up. So
It's imprinted heavily in our Halloween DNA.
what item is banned in California on Halloween? There's an item banned, specific
silly
item
string. It's got to be silly
banned
string.
in California. Plastic trick-or-treat bags. Popcorn balls.
Wasn't that nice?
Silly string. Silly string, this dude over here.
Wait a second.
Or those plastic costumes from Rite Aid with the mask that you couldn't see out of.
Or as I like to say, creature from the murky lagoon.
I did have a cool Admiral Akbar one, I think.
Ooh, that would be really cool. You must have gotten that early because they were always sold out. Like, when I got there, it was like, you could be Daffy Duck.
It wasn't that early, because remember, it was Admiral Akbar, so it wasn't like Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader or...
Yeah, that's true.
He didn't get there that early.
He got early. He got there earlier. Besides, before it was Daffy Duck or Frankenstein left.
The Mummy.
I'm sure there was one. Okay.
All right.
What item has been?
I gotta go silly string. He called it. I think he called it. It's probably
If
killing.
it's just one day a year, they
Yeah.
ban it, it's got to be...
They were probably like birds eating silly string and dying or something. So that's where I'm going. Silly string.
That's crazy because that's correct.
Nate.
Like, how did you call that?
From beyond the
Those dead
grave.
kids always get silly string banned everywhere.
Jeez,
Those-
that is nuts that he got that.
Those darn
parades
kids!
were always like, the whole roads were covered in silly string, and then all of a sudden they banned it from the parade. Like, you could not have it. Like, yeah.
Whenever silly string comes into play, there's only one person that enjoys silly string coming into
Kid
play.
with the can.
The kid with the can. Everybody else is annoyed. Yeah.
I really thought I'd get you with plastic trick-or-treat bags in California.
Dude, he
That would have
blew
been a
it
second.
up.
Yeah, that would have been a second.
Yeah.
But
He blew it
And
up.
I just want popcorn balls to be banned. You
Oh,
ever
yeah.
get the popcorn
They're the
ball?
worst.
Like,
They're the worst.
No, it's not worse than like an apple. Here's
Candy
an
apple. Candy
Here's an
apple.
There's some jackass on the other road that gives out political flyers. Yo, dude, you can suck it. I make my kids take it out of the bag, throw it on his lawn, and keep walking. And put it right on his lawn. Let's keep going. Come on, dude.
Come, geez.
No piece of candy.
You know what,
nothing.
dude?
Just a political
What?
flyer.
You go up to his house and he gives you a flyer.
Just a political flyer.
I would take the flyer and I would slap him in the face with
And
it.
I'm sure you can guess which orange jackass he wanted you to vote for. Let's move on.
The Great Pumpkin?
Peter
great
Pumpkin Eater?
Peter Pumpkin
Peter
Eater.
Pumpkin Eater.
The not so great.
No, that's the
pumpkin.
guy with the giant orange jackass.
All right, so this is a fun one. I like this one, and don't read my notes because it'll give it away on you. And you
I
should
think
have
his
fun
name
with
was
this one.
Spicer. Okay.
Okay. What classic comic strip helped boost the popularity of trick-or-treating in the United States?
Peanuts.
Family Circus, Peanuts, I'm not tapping, Dick Tracy, or Dagwood. It's the comic strip.
Yep.
You say Peanuts?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Great Pumpkin, right? So
It's not going to be Peanuts because it's too obvious.
I know, right?
Yep.
It's gonna. Yeah.
My B answer is Family Circus, but I'm going with Peanuts.
Okay. So in 1951, this comic strip depicted kids trick-or-treating. And until 1951, most of the country had never heard of trick-or-treating. And they didn't do it.
Okay. Am I allowed to look?
Yeah, you can look if you want. So this comic strip, basically, like, this guy must have seen kids doing it in his town, and then because of that, spread it to the entire country.
Yep.
And this was only in the 50s this started.
Okay.
I can't believe it. And it's the Peanuts. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Chuck.
Pretty awesome, though,
Chuck
right?
Peanuts, yeah.
Like, I had no... 1951? So 30s, 40s, kids didn't trick-or-treat?
For as long as I can remember, I've watched that show every year.
Except for last year, when Apple bought it and decided not to allow it to air on public TV.
Yeah, that's not cool. That's really not cool, Apple.
You're so cool, Apple. Put it on your Apple TV. Don't give it to anyone. Don't let a child have it. That really made me angry.
They suck.
They're not. They
We'll
bought the rights and they would not air it.
We'll never be sponsored by Apple, so I feel comfortable saying, screw you, Apple.
What a dick move.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going on to question number 5. This is just a disgusting question. How much is spent on pet costumes for Halloween annually?
So I just want to put this... I want to put this out front right now. My entire life, I am on my 5th dog. I'm on my 5th dog. Not once have we ever had a pet costume.
I would buy a headband at the dollar store. That's all I would get. Like a cowboy hat headband or a headband with ponytails and just put it on my old dog. And that was it. Just put it on. He'd shake it off. It was done. It wasn't a costume. It cost $1. It was just silly. That's all he got.
For the first time ever, we got a puppy in October last year.
Mm-hmm.
And he came from Alabama. And he got up here. And for the first 6 weeks of his life, I had to carry him outside because he was like, Mofo, it is cold out there, and I do not want to go out.
Oh, my God.
So I literally had to pick him up and carry him outside because he wouldn't go outside because it was cold. And he's like, I'm from Alabama. It's fucking hot down there.
Wow.
So we had to buy him a sweater. And I swore that I would never buy a dog a sweater. I caved.
It's different when you have a dog with no thick hair, no coat to keep itself warm. It's different.
He wore the sweater and he would go outside. So I was comfortable in him wearing the sweater.
That's different. It's not a costume.
Okay.
So, how much do people spend annually? Is it $118 million, $25 million, $45 million, or $300 million?
Nate, his multiple choice answers are diabolical.
They really are. Yeah.
Because he gives us, like, sort of reasonable ones, and then he throws 2 outrageous ones at us that make me rethink my reasonable answer.
Right. Or my faith in humanity.
Right.
Actually, it's the correct answer.
I always default back to how stupid people are.
This is just by my internet research, so.
This is by Googlio?
You have to give that a slight margin of error.
A little disclaimer.
By $1 billion or so.
Do you want to go first or you want me to go, Nate?
You go first this time.
I'm going $118 million. The 118 because it's not a round number. The 525, the 545, and the 300 million. But I'm going, the 118 sounds very specific. Now, Tom is also diabolical because he could have chosen a random specific number to throw in there to trip me up like I'm falling into the trap right now. So be it. I've fallen into his trap. $118 million is my final answer.
All right. We do like the Price is Right. I'll do $45 million.
Okay. Ooh, somewhere in between.
Yeah.
They Dollar General sells a lot of stupid headbands, Chris. Yeah. He asked how many dollar headbands were there.
Will they fit on our heads?
Yeah.
Can you go out and get some for the show?
I can go look, see if they still sell them. This was years ago, but I'll go look. I'll look.
Okay.
Okay, so the correct answer is $300 million.
Holy shnikey, Batman! $300 million? How much do they spend on regular human costumes?
Somewhere, some child is desperate for a pair of pants.
That's right, yeah. There are kids going hungry.
Somewhere there's a little Tommy free balling it out there.
Like, there's hungry children out there. And you're buying your dog $300 million worth of Halloween costumes.
And his chihuahua's dressed up as Scooby-Doo.
You know, it's like Bezos or somebody going like, all right, I'm going to outfit this whole zoo.
Or it's just like one person spending $100 million on their costumes. Like, no, 180 million of that's the Kardashians.
Yeah. Because it all has to be like diamonds.
It just made me sick. That was terrible. Absolutely horrible. And the last question for the night. I was trying to give a gimme here. I think this one's going to be easy.
Ooh, because we're not doing too well.
What percentage of parents admit to sneaking goodies from their kids' Halloween trick-or-treat bags? What percentage of parents admit to sneaking candy? Is it 90%, 50%, 80%, 100%?
Well, Nate, my gut immediately screamed 90 to me.
Mine too.
All right, we're going with our gut.
Like 90, yeah.
Tom,
Right.
90.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The other 10% are just lying.
Yes, they are.
You're totally full of it. You're a liar. Our friend Rob calls it the daddy tax.
Is that?
I'm walking you around this neighborhood. I get 10% of what you have.
Is that Snickers bar whole wheat? Because if not, I'm not going to have that.
My mom always made us search for like razor blades in our.
Did you ever find any?
No.
Oh.
Nowadays, like I think it was 6ABC or some channel around here issued a warning about people giving out edibles on Halloween to children. Be careful, you're going to get THC laced edibles on Halloween from people. No. Listen, folks.
They're too expensive.
Nobody is giving away their edibles to some random kid on Halloween. No way in hell.
Unless you're dressed like Peter Pumpkin Eater.
Yeah. I mean, if you go there and it's like the dude can barely open the door and he opens it and just smoke billows out and it's not theatrical smoke.
And he goes, "Hey, man, what you want?"
Well, even then,
check the gummy bears.
It's not on purpose.
Yeah, that's by accident, right? He's never giving them away. Nobody's giving that stuff away, folks.
So what you're saying, Nate, is there's no malicious intent there?
None. I mean, you could check, but I mean, nobody's doing that. Nobody.
All right. So earlier today, I don't know if you saw, in the group, I posted a picture of 3 Halloweeny gentlemen, and I asked a question, Tom. What would they be drinking? So what do you think Freddy Krueger's drinking when he orders at the bar? What's Freddy drinking?
Whiskey straight.
I'm going Black Russian.
Yeah?
He doesn't sleep.
Okay. I'd say whiskey straight. He looks like a kind of guy.
What's Michael Myers drinking?
A Mai Tai.
Mai Tai?
A Mai Tai. With an umbrella.
I got nothing on that.
It has to be. I mean, that's the only thing I can imagine him
Doesn't make
holding
any
and
sense.
drinking.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, it does. I think it does make a lot of sense.
I got nothing.
Who's the other guy?
Or he'd be drinking out of a coconut. The other
No,
guy's
not
Jason.
Oh, Jason.
I feel like Jason's drinking something sloppy and nasty.
Like a Budweiser?
Car bomb?
Okay.
Snake bite.
Car bomb,
Prairie
snake bite,
fire.
prairie fire. Yeah, prairie fire. I could go with that. I could also see maybe Michael Myers having a Budweiser. Like can of Bud.
PBR?
Nah, too hipster.
Too hipster?
Yeah, too hipster.
Coors Banquet.
Oh, those are the action figures.
Oh, they are. Yeah, that was the question.
Yeah.
What are these? Well, I think the question is, what did these three guys order a round of?
Yeah, it's totally a Mai Tai, dude.
I don't see him drinking a Mai Tai. I don't.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah.
Well,
And trying to get the other guys to drink it. Go and try it. It's delicious. You're going to love it.
I think
It's really good.
two of them definitely something with a straw.
ba-da-ba-dum-bum-ba-da-bum. All right, we have kept these poor people on for over an hour, Thomas. It is time. It is that magical time of night to look them deep in the eyes and say, 1, we're sorry. 2, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, Chris. I hope you enjoyed joining us tonight.
We had a really good time drinking more pumpkin beers, and we probably might dig some more up.
Probably. I've already got them planned.
Pumpkin. So at this point of the night, we're just going to wrap it up. And
That's it.
for my friend here, Peter, the pumpkin eater, and myself, we'd like to bid you adieu. And hey, what are we?
We're under time.
And we're 25.
Nah, we're over
we're
time.
25 days from that magical night.
That's it. No.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking the magical night was October 20th, which is Pumpkin Palooza. Oh, from Halloween. Sure, 25 from Halloween.
But October 20th will be a magical night as well, because we will have some studio guest audiences here with us and drinking all the pumpkin beers.
How many audiences are we going to have?
We've got 3 slated, and we've talked about
3 guests.
We've got 3 guests slated, and we've talked about the possibility of opening up to one random sweepstakes winner who's
trying to get a guest to come.
whose name might be Chris based on tonight.
To join those gluten-frees.
At this point of the evening, we just gotta say goodbye.
Good night.
We love you all. You're magical. Chris, free the gluten, buddy.
Drink all the
Free
pumpkins.
the gluten.
Drink them all.
Cheers. Bye.